Cointreau, a challenge for your senses.
I'm a footballer, not a movie star.
I just want to feel good about the way I look.
New L'Oreal Elvive 2-in-1. It contains ceramide R, which strengthens the hair from within.
For stronger, thicker, healthy-looking hair.
New L'Oreal Elvive 2-in-1 with ceramide R.
It's L'Oreal and I'm worth it.
A feature-length ITV movie.
The police are still asking questions about last night.
Promise you won't see anything.
Taggart, Long Time Dead, Sunday at 9, ITV.
Still to come tonight, Ed Hall serves the airwaves with all the news on the week's TV from the Haunted Fish Tank at 12:45. Now it's Soccer Night.
Good evening. We're at Anfield and Prenton Park for tonight's Worthington Cup games. The visiting managers like a little bit of sexy football. Ruud Gullit coined the phrase, but in truth he was misquoted, possibly because of the imperious standards he set as a player, his adoration of the beautiful game and his multilingual skills. For Gullit's Newcastle, it's a potential banana skin at Tranmere tonight. Even though he's being bankrolled at Fulham by the Al-Fayed Empire, Kevin Keegan is very much a disciple of the Bill Shankly school of straight talking, common sense and go with the flow brand of football, which is pretty sexy in its own right. Keegan's return to Anfield is literally a pain in the neck. So just about the width of the Mersey separates England's front two tonight, Michael Owen and Alan Shearer. Are they better together or apart? Well, Mark Wright saw tonight's game at Anfield in the cold, but he's back to analyse the video evidence for us. Evening to you, Mark. Evening. And don't forget, sudden death tonight. Now, that could mean extra time, it could mean penalties. We'll also have highlights of the game between Norwich and Bolton for you as well. Now, Liverpool-Fulham in the League Cup has quite a history to it. Almost 5 years ago to the day at Anfield, Robbie Fowler burst onto the scene with 1, 2, 3. Wait for it. 4. And 5. 12 years ago, the Liverpool team of Dalglish and co hit them for 10. What's in store tonight? Commentators Clive Tilsley.
Nobody wants to miss an Anfield reunion. Kevin Keegan, the Fulham chief, under the surgeon's knife this time last week, has recovered sufficiently from a neck operation to be here. Peter Beardsley is back in town too, but only as a substitute. Keegan's assistant, Frank Sibley, took charge at the weekend and promptly dropped Beardsley. Only Steve Staunton from the last Liverpool team that Beardsley played in 7 years ago opposes him tonight. There are 4 changes from the weekend, with Danny Murphy appearing for the first time this season and David Thompson starting a match at Anfield for the first time. Brad Friedel is recording goal and Robbie Fowler is reunited with Michael Owen in attack. Fulham are without the considerable know-how of Paul Bracewell and John Solarco because of injury. Teenager Sean Davis is preferred to Beardsley, but Paul Pesky-Solido has returned to the attack since Fulham beat Southampton in the last round, and most of this team do have experience of Anfield. In charge at Anfield tonight, Peter Jones. It's the team placed third in the Premiership table against the team placed third in Division 2. But if squally conditions are considered a leveller, we certainly have those. And it is a tie with a touch of romance and intrigue, and it may just hinge on how much adrenaline is running through the respective teams inside a half-empty Anfield. Here's Michael Owen on the ball for Liverpool, and immediately clattered by Wayne Collins. Owen, who said last week, following the decision to leave him out of the starting lineup against Valencia, I will have plenty of time to put my feet up when I've turned 40. McAteer. Thompson. Now Fowler. And David Thompson. Trying to get on the outside of Morgan. He's forced a corner kick. 21 just last month, David Thompson. Trying to stretch Simon Morgan. The corner he has won has brought Steve Staunton forward to the near post. Jamie Carragher is alongside him. It's headed by Ince and turned off the line. And cleared by Ullenbeck, and it almost fell for Ince again. Morgan had to scoop clear. Gus Ullenbeck thought he'd done the difficult job. Almost another goal for Paul Ince. Denied on the post by Gus Ullenbeck. Murphy looking for Owen. Morgan just cut it out. Rufus Brevitt. Paul Pesky-Solido. Taking on Jamie Carragher and getting beyond him here. Dirk Lehmann is in the centre, a little too high for him. Berger miscuing, but getting there ahead of Gus Ullenbeck. Lehmann felt that he was jostled and pushed as the cross came in. Peter Jones, the referee, certainly wasn't too far away. Well, they just ran into each other, really. Fulham do have a corner kick. Kit Simons with a header, and it was a dangerous one which McAteer had to deal with just in front of Pesky-Solido. Simons relatively unchallenged, came from deep, came from outside the box, and nobody really picked him up. Fulham do have a real height advantage from these set pieces. Morgan trying to make the most of it. Wasn't the best of headers, and Friedel is able to claim that one. Fulham have 4,000 visiting supporters inside Anfield tonight, and their chairman, Mohammed Al-Fayed, has subsidised their travel. Headed by Hayward. Davies just beaten to it. Coleman got in the challenge, but Owen rode it, and Berger's trying to feed him. It just came off the heels of Simons, and now Robbie Fowler. And here's Michael Owen. First opportunity of the night. Struck with a lot of power by Owen, but a ball that was running away from him. The angle was deteriorating all the time. And after a little bit of pinball ricochet, fed by Robbie Fowler, Owen onside, but not much of a goal to really aim at. Pulled his shot wide. Fulham chairman. I don't know where he got the hat. I'll give you two guesses. His chief operating officer. McAteer on to Thompson. Got away from Hayward, found a way through, and Michael Owen's snapshot was just helped on its way past the post by Mike Taylor. Did well to get there, Owen, did well to angle Thompson's cross goalwards. Through the legs of Hayward. And then hit early, and Owen's shot just met the palm of Taylor's hand. Corner kick. Murphy takes towards Thompson, and now Fowler. Well, he was almost standing on the dead ball line. He had nothing to aim at. But with Owen and Fowler on the field, the threat to Fulham is a constant one. That was a half chance, no more. And Taylor had to make up some ground and get down quickly. Carragher. Owen coming almost to the halfway line. Thompson has lost out Brevitt. Collins has found Lehmann. Trying to break Murphy's challenge. Carragher away. Fowler looking to tiptoe in behind Fulham here. Hayward back there. At the concession of a corner. Chris Coleman felt he was fouled by Robbie Fowler. It is Coleman and Co. must now defend the corner which Fowler won. Certainly Coleman had the weight and reach advantage. Staunton towards Ince. Might come here for Owen. Terrific save by Taylor, who just launched himself at Michael Owen and somehow kept out his little poke volley. The second time in the game that Paul Ince has got the better of the very tall Fulham defence in the air. Good movement from Ince, good delivery. Owen looked poised to score, but Taylor was brave and alert. Just threw himself at Michael Owen's boot as it made contact with the ball. Monsieur Houllier and Mr. Evans start to compose their half-time words. Touch from Lehmann. Pesky Solido trying to capitalise on McAteer's mistake, and he took a save from Friedel. Managed to beat it away for a corner, well struck by Paul Pesky Solido, and an athletic parry from Brad Friedel following the error from Jason McAteer. Not sure it was quite on target, but he was hit with real gusto, and Friedel reacted well. Fulham have a corner kick. Henry's by Staunton. It's the last action of the first half in which Fulham have held their own. Liverpool have had the better opportunities, no doubt about it, but not too many of them.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Kevin Keegan said before the start of the match that this would be a measure of how far Fulham have come. Well, in the 5 years since they were last at Anfield and were beaten 5-0, it appears they have come some distance. At the break here, it's 0-0.
Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. It's for sure, not for maybe, that I'm all dressed up tonight. Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. Ask me when will that day be? The big day may be tonight.
The center of a great PC experience is a Pentium 2 processor.
Kuye kwamemeza abantu bonke mandulo, kumemeza abantu abadala kangaka, we bantwana kanisalaleli nga.
Umbiko wokufika kwentokozo enkulu, sabamnyemi beshula sokulanda, simemeze nezwi linye, sithi ifikile inkosi yamakhosi. Silandele khona sizophumelela.
Put some zest in the day ahead with the tangy Seville oranges in Robertson's Golden Shred.
Somewhere between science and superstition, there is another world. Nobody believed it, and nothing could stop it. The one hope, the only hope, the exorcist.
Nobody has won the Football League Cup competition more times than Liverpool. This is the first time since 1985 that Fulham have been this far. And one of them will be out of the competition by the end of the night. The third round is now played to an extra time and penalty finish at the first time of asking. Stig Bjørneby for Liverpool. Berger under pressure from Uhlenbeck. Staunton stepping in. Not since 1981 have Fulham been beyond the third round of the League Cup. Quarter-finals, the furthest they've ever gone. Liverpool's last triumph was against Bolton Wanderers in 1995. Little flick from Pesky Solido has found Lehmann. Race with McAteer, who was favoured by fortune a little, knocked the ball against Lehmann and it came back to him. Certainly the Lehmann-Pesky-Solido combination has threatened to bear fruit on more than one occasion. This is Berger. Now Fowler. Taylor couldn't hold on to that. Short backlift from Fowler. Maybe the shot had deceptive pace. Maybe there was an element of surprise about it. Taylor said he has some ground to make up. Corner kick is the outcome. Berger takes towards Ince. Glanced away by Morgan. Pesky Solido trying to peel away from Bjørneby. Resists the challenge of Thompson momentarily, and then he's brought down by David Thompson. Now, Thompson does have a yellow card to his name. And that's as far as it goes for now. It's a trip more than anything, but Pesky Solido was breaking into space behind the Liverpool defence. Lehmann winning it in the air again. Staunton down though to McAteer. It's a loose one from him which Staunton had to tidy up. Peter Beardsley has a part to play in the drama. I wonder who is deciding that tonight. I suspect Kevin Keegan. Got the impression that Frank Sibley would remain in control of things tonight and that Keegan would watch with his family. Once here, he was always going to get himself involved. Murphy to Fowler. Now Ince. Thompson. McAteer making a run outside of him. Thompson shoots. It came off Fowler and in. Liverpool in front. I'm not sure that Robbie Fowler's even claiming it. It may be that Simon Morgan got the last touch. The second half is 8 minutes old. And a speculative effort by David Thompson is deflected past his own goalkeeper by the shin of Simon Morgan. And Fulham, who looked relatively comfortable tonight in defence, are undone by a moment of catastrophe and a moment of ill luck. And Liverpool lead. Forward by Davis. Dealt with by Carragher. Still more than half an hour for Fulham to find a reply. Pesky Solido. Davis. Pesky Solido. Oh, fancied his chances. What a goal that is! Fantastic! Paul Pesky Solido has equalised for Fulham with a memorable goal. 4,000 from West London celebrate. A silent cop, and that famous end as Anfield has seen some fantastic goals down the years. That's one of them. Paul Pesky Solido's arcing shot, clearing the hand of Brad Friedel and keeping alive the Fulham dream. And if they get nothing from tonight, they'll remember their trip to Anfield for that moment. Uhlenbeck, Pesky Solido. Simons, Davis. Getting himself in front of Pesky Solido, and Owen trying to benefit. He's got away from Morgan. It's Michael Owen for Liverpool. Now is he brought down? Yes, he was. Gus Uhlenbeck got to him. Caught Owen standing foot, and the penalty given by a referee who was very well placed. And an opportunity here for Liverpool to quickly retake the lead. Owen's pace again the key factor, and Uhlenbeck, well, their feet certainly made contact, never quite caught up, and certainly never made any contact with the ball. Owen won it, Fowler will take it. Within 5 minutes of Pesky Solido's equaliser, it's Robbie Fowler from the spot. And Liverpool are back in front. And the rehabilitation of Robbie Fowler continues. I'm not sure that he's quite back up to speed yet, but 5 goals in 6 starts since his long injury absence tells you otherwise. Taylor had an idea which way it was going, but couldn't do anything about it. Liverpool back in front. It's Staunton. In towards Owen again. Coleman trying to turn it back to his keeper. Taylor just managed to react. Almost at cross purposes. Nice switch by McAteer, Björneby. Berger running free momentarily. Oh, it's a good cross too, and Brevitt just managed to ease Thompson off the ball. He thought he was fouled. It was such a good ball in by Patrick Berger. It teased attacker and defender alike, and Thompson did look favourite momentarily, and Brevitt probably just eased him off the ball, shoulder to back. A lot of coaches would say good defending, son. And Michael Owen. Here's Jason McAteer taking the ring road round Brevitt. Was a foul by Hayward, which McAteer managed to resist. The referee's assistant seemed determined that a free kick would be given. McAteer was quite happy to continue. Staunton has gone across to take the free kick left-footed. Swung it towards East. Clear daylight for Liverpool, who surely have put away the game challenge of Fulham now with a captain's goal from Paul Ince. He's been dangerous in the air all night from the set pieces, but that time there's nothing Mike Taylor could do about a really well-placed header from Steve Staunton's swinging free kick. And with 14 minutes left to play, the joint charges of Gerard Houllier and Roy Evans lead Fulham by 3 goals to 1. Coleman. Collins. Now Berger. Played it nicely. Robbie Fowler for Liverpool. Maybe they will get a big score after all. They seem to have broken the Fulham resistance now. As Paul Pesky-Solido, the scorer of the night's best goal, and Dirk Lehmann make way. Then Peter Beardsley returns to Anfield. And whence he was sold within 3 months of Graham Souness's arrival in 1991, sold to Everton, you may recall. This is Hayward. Forward towards Betsy. Maybe a chance for him to mark his debut. Went for it early. Friedel got both hands to it and recovered quickly with Smith closing in. Stig Bjørneby. Patrick Berger. And that by Smith. Played forward by Hayward to Collins. And now Beardsley. Just couldn't quite bring the ball under his spell. There's an injury for Collins to cope with for these final few seconds. The best team run, no doubt about that. The best moment of the night, no doubt, provided by Kevin Keegan's Fulham and by Paul Pesky-Solido. His longer-term dreams for Fulham are his priority. They've been put into some perspective tonight. Liverpool took their time to pick them off, but for 5 wonderful moments midway through the second half, after Pesky-Solido had scored, Fulham dreamt of better things. Robbie Fowler's penalty answered that. Paul Ince's header finished off the evening. Although it took a moment of ill luck to give Liverpool the initiative, Pesky-Solido's answer was supreme. But then, after Owen had been toppled by Ullenbeck, Fowler from the spot, and then Ince, arguably the man of the match, with his head, or was it his shoulder? Yes, it was his ear, made the final score tonight. Liverpool 3, Fulham 1.
We knew they would make it extremely difficult for us, and all we had to do is to play in a professional way and keep the tempo of the passing and the movement in the game as we did, and maybe at one stage we would find some space or some break on some, maybe they would make a mistake, and I think they played very well. They made it difficult for us, and we just made a very sensible and very professional display.
I thought we did very, very well. We probably could have passed it a little bit better when we got it, but I think at the end we were just so tired. You know, we really couldn't even do that. So, yeah, we went down with a lot of pride. I think our fans have had a great night. Outsung the Kop for long periods of time, which doesn't happen very often. And all in all, it was a good exercise for us, but, you know, we have to learn something from it, and I'm sure we will.
Or was it a bit special to be back here?
Oh, it's a wonderful place, you know. I mean, a lot of people have helped build this place. I mean, we're talking about our Premiership dream. This club was built on, you know, it's built on stone, isn't it? And it's wonderful to come back, yeah. I'm sure every player, you go to Tommy Smith and you go back as far as Ian St John and Roger Hunt and Bernie and all those, and Tommy Lawrence, you know, yeah, it's a wonderful place to come back to, because it's our home. You know, this is where we all learn not just to be footballers, but to be men.
Why is it that ex-Liverpool players always regard the club with such affection, as Kevin obviously does there?
Well, it is. It's got so much tradition about the place, and you know, like you're saying, it is the respect that the players have had. There's so many great players that have been through the club, and you know, it's just the aura about the place. You know, you walk in and you see the signs. This is Anfield, and it's just a great place to be.
It sounds almost like the way Kevin was speaking there, a privilege to be beaten. You know.
I think it came across that way, didn't it?
Yes, it did, didn't it?
Man, yeah. I mean, he loves the place. You can see from the way he was saying, and you know, every time you know his side have got beaten, but he's still got a smile on his face, and you know, it's a privilege. I think he thinks it's a good education for his players to go to a place like Anfield and learn from the way that Liverpool are doing things, and obviously they're building to get to that sort of status, and you know, and hopefully within a couple of years, then maybe they will be there.
Well, you watched it live. You were at Anfield tonight. Were you? Did you think that Robbie Fowler had actually scored the first goal?
Yes, I did. I most certainly did. Well, I mean, yeah, but then when you look away, you can see here that's come off centre half's leg, and
Morgan,
and it's looped over. I mean, that's unfortunate, because they were doing actually quite well up to then, but you could see from Robbie Fowler's lack of celebration that obviously, you know, it must have come off somebody else.
That was the giveaway, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was the big giveaway for that goal, yeah.
The goal of the night, undisputably, was Paul Pescasolido.
When you see this in slow motion, his turn inside is actually, and he looks up and he fires in it. That's a fantastic goal. I mean, it's so early in the season, but that could be going on for a goal of the season.
It really was absolute cracker. Lou McCurry would say when he was at Stoke with him that he sort of always passed the ball rather than blasted it anyway. That's his style.
Well, yeah, well, he blasted that one because that must have been all of 35 yards with a little bit of bend and a little bit of craft. I mean, that's a great goal. I mean, you can't say too much about that. Everyone around the country tonight will be saying, you know, what a good goal that is.
Were you of the same opinion as we were watching the video instantly that this was a penalty kick? No
doubt about it. No doubt about it. He's come from behind and he's clipped him. Michael Owen, when he runs from them sort of positions, you've got to stop him outside the box. You've got to try and make contact outside the box, otherwise that's going to happen all night.
Well, it enabled Robbie to get the penalty kick. How do you see them as a partnership, Mark?
It's very hard to say. You know, they're both magnificent players, you know, world-class players in my opinion. You know, Robbie Fowler's the best goal scorer that I've ever had the privilege to, you know, to be around and play with. Michael Owen is like going from strength to strength, but it doesn't always mean that they're going to be a great partnership together. I mean, Karl-Heinz Riedler's come in and played for most of the season and had a great time.
It just sounds like you have reservations about them as a pair. Am I right?
Well, yeah, I think they're very much alike. They're making the same sort of runs, and you know, Karl-Heinz Riedler at times, you know, gives you an alternative because he's very, very powerful in the air. He can hold a ball up, whereas Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler like to run the other way. And sometimes, you know, I think they're mixing it up, you know, to their credit, the coaching staff, and it's working. They're picking it for the right occasion, and it seems to be working at present.
OK, well, just before we move on, I think it's fair to say that Paul Ince isn't renowned for his heading ability, but one off the line, and then the third goal.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been lucky to see this from behind the goal, which you were pointing out. I mean, from whichever angle you see that from, that looks a great goal. That's a good Paul Ince goal, but I mean, it does come off the top of the other. I think it's what's his name? The midfield player. It's come off his top of his head, but at the same time...
Wayne Collins, ex-Crew.
That's it. We forgot his name, so forgive me for forgetting you. But at the end of the day, you know, it was a good header. He's made a great run into the box. If you see his movement beforehand, he jinks one way, comes back, gets across him, and actually puts his head in. So, in my opinion, that's a good goal. OK, Mark, thanks. Well, after the break, a game which really, you'll enjoy this, honestly, it really encapsulated the spirit and the concept of cup-tie football. That's Tranmere against Newcastle. Join us again.
Another of these set pieces worked on in the training ground. The flick on at the near, and it nearly came off as well for Tranmere. David Batty trying to get it away, and the shot on the turn was a beauty, I think, from Kenny Irons.
Lights, music, heat. Now you can get your electricity and your gas from the same people. ManWeb will only send you one bill, and depending on how much you use or how you pay, you'll immediately save anything from £22 right up to £115 a year. Some of you could save even more. That's good old-fashioned money in your pocket.
And would that be your pocket or my pocket, dear?
Off. To find out what you can save, call us on 0800 50 30 50.
The more power, the quicker the flash, the brighter the smiles. Introducing the remarkable power of new Duracell Ultra, with a concentrated power force to get more life out of your high-tech appliances. The more power, the longer the call, the more expressive the conversation. New Duracell Ultra. Duracell power, more life.
When she said, catch your breakfast, we all despair. But we'd had weeds and bits, so we'd be prepared. We paddled a canoe and we swung from trees. And at the end of it all was this terrible wheeze like Darth Vader. Dip, dip, da, ba,
Have you had your Weetabix?
This week only with Summerfield's Price Check. Buy one Nouvelle twin pack, get one free.
I knew they'd come in handy.
Have you bought your vitamins, minerals and supplements from Holland and Barrett yet? Not only do they make their own products to keep everyday prices low, there's now a once and once only 50% off event as well. But hurry, it's for 2 weeks only, and it's never to be repeated. Whiz down now to the Holland and Barrett 50% off event.
I don't just wash, I energise with new Garnier Synergy C Reviving Foam Wash with vitamin C. The cleansing action helps my skin feel revived, leaving it instantly refreshed and energised. New Synergy C Reviving Foam Wash, formulated and controlled by Laboratoire Garnier.
Searching for ways to enhance the look and comfort of your home? Why not try this simple step? Philips Soft Tone. See your home in its best light.
Discover a colourant that really cares for your hair. New Garnier Movida, a tone-on-tone cream colourant with conditioning karité. Without ammonia. Blends away grey hair. Enjoy natural, vibrant colour. New Movida Caring Colour, formulated and controlled by Laboratoire Garnier.
Welcome back for all the classic ingredients of an English Cup tie. An unpredictable Premiership side against a First Division team, really the form team in the First Division this season. Newcastle conceding home advantage, Tranmere on the back of 4 straight wins. Now, one change, Scott Taylor's cup tie, so David Kelly's back in. John Octerberg continues in goal. Ken Irons in great form continues as captain. Nicholas Dabidas returns for Newcastle and getting the nod to partnering with captain Alan Shearer. Paul Dalglish, Kenny's lad. Well, the very best of the action now with commentator Alistair Mann.
Now Glass guiding it in. That should be a corner. Headed away by Graham Allen. Shearer waiting to time his run. It's straight in at the keeper, and John Octerberg did well. And it's another corner, this time given away by Allen. Octerberg looking round at his defenders, but it was whipped in at him at pace, and the keeper did well. Again whipped in, again a near post effort, claims for handball on the line. Alan Shearer is absolutely furious that the decision hasn't gone his way. We'll have to have another closer look at that, but at that pace it was just squeezed out on the near post. Shearer claims with the arm. What will the replay tell us? He was pretty much unmarked, Shearer. Well, it's certainly against the arm and the post. Combination of both. Headed away by Pearce, helped on by Speed, guided on by Shearer. There's no offside. A real opportunity here, but he's lost his footing, Dalglish. And the chance really never even arrived. Little flick on by Shearer was exquisite, and the linesman on this near side, the assistant rather, correctly said onside. And in the end, Dalglish couldn't even get his shot away. Alan Shearer played the ball, Dalglish timed his run. There was no offside, and he just couldn't bring it under control and lost his balance. And all credit to John McGreal. Another of these set pieces worked on in the training ground. The flick on at the near, and it nearly came off as well for Tranmere. David Batty trying to get it away, and the shot on the turn was a beauty, I think, from Kenny Irons. And it was tipped away. Good save by Shay Given. Ruud Gullit had said that, having watched Tranmere Rovers, that it was the set pieces that were particularly of concern. And it was a great save by Given. It was actually Clint Hill who got the shot in. Now here is Kenny Irons with a corner, another near post flick, and another little bit of a scare for Newcastle. But it's a goal kick at the end of it. George Santos almost there. And Tranmere are knocking on the door now. Well, Tranmere Rovers boss John Aldridge has happy memories of this competition. He's third in the all-time scoring list behind Ian Rush and Jeff Hurst. Bird looking for Jones. Got the flick on, chance for Kelly. Not far off, took a little bit of a flick off the goalkeeper. And it'll be a corner. Jones flick, Kelly shot. Given with a touch, I think off the left hand. But either way, Tranmere coming pretty close. Tranmere have a corner. Headed firmly away, I think, by Gary Speed. Dalglish with a chance to turn. Solano's on the advance, and suddenly it's 3-on-2. Can Newcastle work it? No, they can't. Tranmere had sufficient bodies. Well, the flag went up against Kelly, and to be totally truthful, Kelly had come back into an onside position, and perhaps with the benefit of a replay, the assistant on the far side might have changed his mind, but he only has one stab at it, of course. Solano, it's a good touch. Dalglish, oh, good save by Octerberg. Plenty of power, and it had the direction. And Octerberg made a really good save on his near post. This was just going to tuck inside the angle. Good save. Newcastle corner. A little bit too deep. In fact, it's kept alive, but only straight back into the goalkeeper's arms. McGreal. Allen. Oh, it'll reach Jones. Oh, he couldn't quite bring it under control quick enough. He did well, but just lost his footing at the vital moment. Pulled it down nicely onto the chest, and just here he lost control and couldn't get a telling shot. It's an open game, this one. Jones going close. Dalglish going close moments earlier. Santos header. Irons. Tranmere Rovers throw. Jason Kumas winning the verdict. Approaching the last quarter of an hour of this pulsating first half. Nodded away up to Shearer, tried to use the ball, but it didn't quite come off for him. Solano looking for Dalglish, a beautiful ball. There's no offside. Dalglish rides the goalkeeper's challenge and will score. Superbly taken. The Newcastle United supporters are wild with delight, and the toast of the blue and white this evening is Paul Dalglish. Beautifully taken. Kept his nerve, kept his cool. It was easy in the end. Lovely ball, though, that kept him in. And once he'd got it under control, he had the balance to do the rest. 31 minutes, and Newcastle and Ruud Gullit have the edge. Batty. Pitts. It's a dangerous ball in, and Octerberg did well. Gathered it off the greasy top. Seemed to gather pace as it bounced. Difficult ball for a goalkeeper. And Batty. Dalglish. The tackle by Hill. And that tackle concludes the proceedings of the first half. The Tranmere Rovers fans applaud, but it's this man, Paul Dalglish, whose goal separates the two sides. Beautifully taken, got round Octerberg and just guided into the empty net. And it's the visiting fans from Newcastle who are the happier as David Kelly and his men walk off 1-0 down. Looking for Shearer. Santos at his back. Backing in is the verdict. Santos raises his arms with delight. Little ironic cheer from the home fans, and Tranmere have the free kick after all that for that piece of backing in. At the other end, meanwhile, it's a great opportunity and nearly an equaliser too. Good save by Gibbon, good shot by Kumas, and from one end to the other, Jason Kumas set his sights, and Gibbon did well. Batty. Now Glass. Saw the opportunity and wrapped the crossbar. Fantastic effort back in by Solano and helped over the bar by Ogterberg. And the goalkeeper there tested twice in a matter of 20 seconds. Beaten by the first, a beauty by Glass. That's a cracking little bender. Near post corner headed away firmly by McGreal. Thompson is indeed unable to continue. And Dave Challoner will take his place. Look how far back he's going. Good grief. And look how far it comes, right to the penalty spot. The trouble's been caused, the goal is almost there. Headed off the line. Well, Kelly so close to giving Tranmere the equaliser. And Challoner's throws have suddenly made Tranmere into a much more potent force. Kelly. McGreal. And again. Irons. Still. Lovely ball too. Oh, great tackle. Might reach him though. Oh, and it's flicked over the bar. Kenny Irons continued his run. And it was a fine save by Shay Gibbon. Irons made the initial break. Jones was hoping to unleash the shot. It then reached Irons. Good save. Back he goes to take his seat in row 7. Gets out of the front row and hurls another bomb. Flicked on, there's 4 or 5 targets waiting. Hooked back into the area once more. Kelly, just over the top. Well, they're causing a few frights in the Newcastle area. Ruud Gullit said he knew all about Tranmere Rovers' set pieces. And it's certainly they that are threatening. Kelly threw himself at it, couldn't get over the top. The ball did go over the top. McGreal kept it alive. And Kelly headed it over. Parkinson now on the chase. He still has it. Shot by Mellon was charged out. Guided in by McGreal, away by Pearce. Tranmere Rovers on the top of the game at the moment. Santos trying to add his weight to the attack. Batty comes away with the ball though for Newcastle. Puts Griffin under some pressure though. Here's O'Brien. Claims for a penalty, the shot went in anyway. Graham Allen up supporting the attack. I looked across at the referee to see if he'd signalled anything. It was just play on. Allen went down. Kelly had the shot. Goal kicks the result. Good break though by Allen. Kelly wasn't about to find out if the referee was giving a penalty or not. He wanted his goal, and Dalglish may get a second. Can he keep his feet? Well, it was some good tackling back in the end. Ogterberg came hurtling out of his goal. Dalglish, well, he couldn't believe his luck, really. And it was, in the end, a good challenge by Challoner to deny him. Ruud Gullit anxiously awaiting the final whistle. She's not forthcoming just yet. Helped up into the air. And again by Batty. Thumped away by Shearer. Dalglish chasing it, trying to bring it under control, which he does. Only Irons back with him. Oh, he's done very well, Dalglish. He's done brilliantly. Solano, good save by Ogterberg. Whistles from the Newcastle supporters who've made the trip from the northeast. And that's it. Well, they've given everything, Tranmere Rovers, to a wonderful cup tie. But they're going to come unstuck at the 3rd round at the hands of Premiership Newcastle, courtesy of Paul Dalglish's well-taken goal in the first half. Plenty of opportunities to both sides after that. but it's Ruud Gullit's men who'll make way into their 4th round. And Paul Dalglish, who will be the hero of the North East.
No, the lads have got full credit tonight, and the fans were tremendous. They got right behind the lads from the first whistle to the last, and you know, saluted them going off the pitch. So they're happy, and that makes me happy.
I must ask you about Dave Challoner. It's very rare a man taking a throw-in and gives such a lift to a crowd.
I know, yeah. I went against all my principles there. I like to play football, but last 10 minutes we were desperate for a goal. I threw Big George up front, and the throws were raining in the goal mouth, and it was quite exciting. The crowd got really up for it at that stage.
Well, it's great. I mean, you lie in bed and think about scoring a winner in a cup tie, and that's what I've done, so very pleasing.
Quite fitting that it should be on Merseyside as well, and I believe your dad was here to watch it.
Yeah, well, he's at most games now because he's on the dole, and so it's nice for him to be here and see it.
He'll love you saying that.
Well, he is, isn't he?
I understood that. That's unique. He's a Dalglish, isn't he? And today, we'd just like to apologise for the extreme weather conditions. It gave us 1 or 2 technical problems. I'm sure it didn't spoil your enjoyment. You saw that for the first time, just then?
I thought it was a fantastic game. I'd like to see the whole of the game.
Get it for you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, it sort of livened up as soon as Challoner came on and started throwing balls into the box. That's an unbelievable weapon for somebody to have, to throw that far, that distance, and cause so many problems. It must have been all of, what, 40 yards plus?
It's extraordinary. We'll have a look at that in a moment or two. But let's now talk about Paul Dalglish, who you knew at Anfield.
Yeah.
I mean, the family resemblance is really quite striking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the old man, you know, here's the old guy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's in '78, by the way, but it's the ruddy cheeks which strike me. They're so similar, and the profile, you know.
That's the port. I mean, that's a great run from the young fella. And I'm really pleased with him because he was at Anfield and he was he was very hard working. He had a lot of ability. Wasn't given the credit that he deserved, and he's gone there. And Ruud Gullit's given him a chance. And he's doing well for himself. And I wish him all the best.
Is that Dalglish-like?
I think that's very Dalglish-like, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if he gets anywhere near as good as his dad, he'll be very, very happy.
Balance, poise, or I mean, they were the hallmarks of Kenny.
I thought he had a great chance, but obviously Liverpool didn't, and they let him go. And I think he went to, I think it was Bury he went to first and played a few games. Then his dad took him up to Newcastle, and
he's going to have some character, really, hasn't he, to come into the Newcastle side, a side or a club that sacked his dad, basically.
He's got to have a strong personality and a strong character to keep going. Yes, he has, and and it's full credit to him. He must be that way, because otherwise he would have would have fallen into the background. And he's certainly up front, and he scored a good goal. And like I said, you can't wish anybody more success. And as I say to him, I mean, he was at Anfield with us, and like I said before, I certainly do wish him every success.
Do you want to have another look at Tranmere's lethal weapon?
Yeah,
Dave Challoner.
I mean, they've got towels all around the pitch for this lad. I mean, that's an unbelievable throw, and he caused havoc.
I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. Here we are from the other. What do you reckon? 40 odd yards.
It's got to be. I mean, and Newcastle aren't renowned actually for being big headers of a football and defending well, on the aerial route. So, I mean, that was a great decision to bring him on and start doing it later on in the game.
Actually, in the Guinness Book of Records, the longest recorded throw-in on a football pitch.
It's a good thing to be in the Guinness Book of Records for, isn't it? The longest throw.
He threw one, because that was a high one. He did throw one earlier on, which we didn't actually see in that version there, which was a low trajectory one, which cleared John McGreal on the far post who'd come up. It was a set routine. He just threw it too hard.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it must be good for them down there to have unsettled Newcastle like that, and it gave the crowd a great buzz because it really did give them a chance, a good fighting chance of getting an equaliser.
That was a smashing game. It really was a terrific performance by Tranmere, Mark. It really was. They deserve something out of the game, actually. Right, what about Bolton? Tottering a bit in the league at the moment. Away to Norwich tonight. Here's Jim Beglin.
Bolton's visit to Carrow Road brought together a couple of old managerial mates and promised a real battle of wits between Colin Todd and his former Wanderers boss Bruce Rioch, which is what we got. Magic moments were few in the pouring East Anglian rain, but Keith Brannigan's superb save from Norwich's Craig Bellamy was certainly the highlight of the first half. Following Bolton's defeat at Ashton Gate last Friday, it was no surprise to see a much more disciplined performance at the back, but they provided some excitement at the other end too, as Michael Johansson demonstrated. In the second half, it was Bolton who came closest to a winner. Nathan Blake eventually had to go off no thanks to this tackle by ex-Oldham defender Craig Fleming. Just the sort of territory Arne Gudlaugsson likes, and his wonderful execution was so unlucky not to decide this third-round tie. Finally, though, the deadlock was broken 6 minutes into extra time, and you couldn't have wished it to go to anybody else. Playing his first senior game since breaking a leg over a year ago, Robbie Elliott stepped in from the left and let fly. This absolute beauty will make all the hard work feel worthwhile. He's back in business. Well done, Robbie. Unfortunately, just 8 minutes later, the sides were level again. From the corner, Norwich substitute Malky Mackay won the first header. Keith O'Neill finished, and so we had the dreaded penalty shootout. After 2 home misses to the visitors' 1, Jimmy Phillips stepped up to take the 4th Wanderers penalty and made no mistake, which meant Eric Fugelstad had to score to keep Norwich in the Worthington Cup. He couldn't, however, and Bolton go into tomorrow's 4th round draw, as well as enjoying the journey back.
Yeah, great way to win, rotten way to lose. Tonight's other results: Barnsley 2, Bournemouth 1, Charlton 1, Leicester 2. Tony Coddy with a couple there. The biggest shock of the night, I suppose, Luton 2, Coventry 0. Spurs came from behind to beat Northampton 3-1, a couple for Chris Armstrong. Forest with 3-0 up before they were forced into extra time and finally winning on penalties. Sunderland 2, Grimsby 1. Niall Quinn got the decisive goal there. Right, we're back tomorrow with more third-round coverage. Manchester United against Bury and Middlesbrough against Everton. That's 10 past 11, and we'll be joined by Neville Southall and Sammy McElroy. Mark, I mean, you had horrendous injury problems. I think you must have been delighted to see Robbie Elliott crack that super goal for Bolton, 12 months out of the game.
Yeah, and so early into his, his career at Bolton. I mean, whenever anybody gets an injury, you want them to come back quickly and get back into the way they were playing before they got injured. And it was great to see him come on and, and strike a goal like that. And I mean, he must have been over the moon with it.
Mm. Now, what about tomorrow? Obviously, the tie there is Middlesbrough against Everton, and this competition has not been kind to Everton over the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Do you see any joy for them up at the Riverside?
I think Middlesbrough, are flying high. I mean, they're playing some great football. Got a great friend up there, Andy Townsend, and he said that, they deserve to be where they are. They are playing well. They're getting results, and Rickard, from last season, who's getting a lot of stick, is actually producing the goods this season and scored a lot of goals.
He's got 12,
I think,
hasn't he?
yeah, I think, they're a side, especially up at home, at Middlesbrough, they are going to be very, very difficult to beat.
OK, Mark, thanks very much indeed. And obviously it's Bury to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. You were saying that earlier. I'm lying. Until tomorrow, good night.